Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the Education Exploration Hub, your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Dylan. How are you doing today, Sophia?
I'm good. A little tired. I had a busy weekend. What about you?
My weekend was the opposite. Very quiet. I stayed home, cooked, read a book. It felt nice to slow down.
That sounds amazing. Sometimes quiet weekends are the best.
Yeah, especially Sunday. Your body's on the sofa, but your mind is already whispering, "Tomorrow is Monday."
Yes. So if you're listening on a Sunday, you might feel cozy but nervous about Monday. And if it's already Monday, you're in the new week.
So the question is, what do we really need for Monday? Do we need more stress? No. We need positive vibes, thoughts that give us energy, not steal it.
Exactly. That's why today we're talking about the power of positivity.
This is a B1 level episode. If you're intermediate, it's perfect. If you're A2, you can still listen, just replay parts if needed.
You can listen while you cook, clean, walk, or sit with tea. Real English, real feelings, real life.
This episode is for you if you feel worried a lot, if your mind is always busy, or if you want to feel lighter and more hopeful.
Yes, and if you enjoy learning with us, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend.
We love reading your comments. Tell us, where are you listening from and what are you doing right now?
I'm in Brazil washing dishes. I'm in Turkey on the bus. It feels like one big, cozy global classroom.
Later, we'll have a calm word tour, but first, let's jump in.
Let's start with something simple but hard. First idea, your happiness switch is inside you.
Not inside your job, your phone, or other people. Inside you. And I'm not saying just be happy. I also have days when my brain is a little cloud of rain.
Same. My brain sometimes wakes up and says, let's think about everything that's wrong.
You know those mornings you dwell on all the problems? The bill, the email, the mistake from last week?
Dwell on means you sit on a thought for a long time. You replay it again and again.
And when we dwell on negative thoughts, we feel weighed down, like a heavy backpack on our chest.
That happened to me last month. I woke up and everything felt gray. Nothing was wrong, but my outlook was very negative.
Outlook means the way you look at life.
Exactly. Same room, same coffee, but my outlook was, I'm failing. Everyone else is doing better.
I know that voice.
And I noticed I wasn't just listening to that voice, I was feeding it. I opened my phone and read bad news, negative comments.
Right, your mind is sad and you give it more sad food.
Yes, sad breakfast for the brain.
So what did you do?
At first, nothing. I stayed in bed and felt worse. Then I remembered I can't always change my mood, but I can change my next 5 minutes.
I like that. I can change my next 5 minutes.
So I decided to short-circuit the negative thoughts, interrupt the bad pattern. I put my phone down, opened the window, and played one happy song. Then I made breakfast and went for a 10-minute walk.
Nice.
No big life change, just 10 minutes, but it felt like I pressed a small reset button. My problems were still there, but I didn't feel so heavy, like I took off one small stone from my backpack.
A lot of us wait for big happiness, new job, big house, but real inner happiness often starts with a very small thing. Open the window, drink water, listen to music.
Your mind is like a garden. If you don't choose what to plant, weeds grow by themselves. Negative news, old memories, other people's drama.
But when you choose even one small good seed, gratitude, a kind thought, a short walk, you start a different garden.
That doesn't mean you must be positive all the time. You're human. You can cry, be tired, feel sad.
But even on a sad day, you still have a tiny switch. What is one small thing I can do now that's kind to myself?
Maybe open the window, look at the sky, make tea and take 3 slow breaths. Or write, today I'm grateful for...
You don't change your whole life in that moment, you change the direction of your thoughts. Repeat that day after day and your brain learns a happiness habit.
So first idea, your happiness is not only about what happens to you, it's how you respond, one tiny seed at a time.
Okay, now what about when your brain is tired from worrying all the time?
I had a season like that. Every night my brain was busy with what-if thoughts.
What if I lose my job? What if I fail this exam? What if people don't like me?
Exactly. Most things I worried about I could not control.
Same. My brain loves to worry about the weather, the news, the economy, strangers on the internet.
One night, I realized I felt like I was trying to control the whole world from my pillow.
I was spiraling. A small worry becomes a big story in your head.
So I tried something simple. I took a notebook and drew 2 circles.
2 circles.
Yeah, first circle, things I can control. Second circle, things I can't control.
Like what?
Can control what I eat tomorrow, how many hours I sleep, if I put my phone away, what message I send. Can't control the past, other people's opinions, world news, old mistakes, the weather.
When you see it on paper, it becomes clearer.
Completely. I saw that 90% of my anxiety was in the can't control circle.
So your brain was working hard but not helping you.
Exactly. I was trying to keep my head above water, just surviving, not drowning, but not relaxed either.
So what did you do?
I made a rule. If something is in the can't control circle, I'm allowed to notice it, but I'm not allowed to stay there for an hour. Instead, I choose one small thing from the can control circle and do it. Send a message, drink water, walk, breathe, sit in silence for 5 minutes.
It's like moving your brain from a noisy street into a quiet park.
Yes, for me, that quiet park is sometimes sitting on the floor, closing my eyes, imagining a beach, waves, warm sand, sun on my face. I breathe slowly and tell myself, right now, I don't have to fix my whole life. I only have to breathe.
So second idea, your brain gets tired when it worries about what you can't control. Move your attention to one small thing you can control and your mind can rest. That rest is also positivity, quiet but powerful.
Okay, now let's talk about something that scares many people, goals.
Goals can give us hope, but they can also make us stressed.
Have you ever felt like your goals were attacking you?
Yes, many times. Instead of feeling inspired, I feel guilty because I'm not there yet.
Exactly.
A few years ago, I felt very lost with work. I wasn't happy, and at night my brain was full of, I should earn more, I should be more successful.
And social media makes it worse. People your age buying houses, traveling, starting businesses.
The classic, everyone is doing better than me, the grass is greener.
The grass isn't always greener means other people's lives look better, but you don't see their problems.
Right, but at that time, I only saw the green grass.
One night I asked myself, what am I actually afraid of?
Good question.
The answer was, I'm afraid my life will stay like this forever. Then another question came, what small change can I make? Not big, just one step.
And what did you do?
I wrote 3 very simple goals, one for health, one for work, and one for my heart.
Tell me.
Health, walk 20 minutes every day after dinner. Work, spend 20 minutes a day learning something new. Heart, send 1 message a day to someone I care about.
That's beautiful.
It was small, but when I looked at the paper, I felt lighter. Before, my mind was stuck in a rut, doing the same thing again and again, feeling trapped.
Stuck in a rut means exactly that.
Every day was worry, scroll, compare, sleep badly, but with these 3 small goals, my brain had something new to focus on.
It's like driving at night in fog. Goals are like turning on your headlights. You still can't see the whole road, but you can see the next few meters.
Exactly. After some weeks, my walks helped my mood, my study time helped my confidence, my messages helped my relationships.
So your life didn't become perfect, but you started to bounce back, recover slowly, like a ball hitting the ground and coming up again.
You don't need big goals to feel better. You need clear and kind goals. Clear so your brain knows what to do, kind so you don't hurt yourself with pressure.
Third idea, your brain needs hope, not just worry. Small, realistic goals are like little lights on your path.
And sometimes, even with good goals, life still hurts. Things go wrong, people leave.
Yeah, so what do you do with problems and pain?
A few years ago, I went through a breakup that hit me hard.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. For weeks, I just wanted to lie in bed, listen to sad songs, and brood over everything. Think about the same sad thing again and again.
Our brain loves that game.
But the more I stayed in bed, the heavier I felt, like wearing wet clothes all day. Then a friend called and said, "You can be sad, but you also have to move. You don't have to run, just walk."
Good friend.
I went for coffee and a walk. It didn't fix my heart, but it helped me breathe. I learned that when you have heartache, you can't just think your way out of it. You have to live your way through it.
Small actions: shower, eat, move, talk to one safe person.
If you're going through a painful season, breakup, loss, disappointment, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to cry, but try not to live inside the pain 24 hours a day. Imagine the pain like a heavy backpack. You have to carry it for some time, but you don't have to sit on the floor and stop your life. Walk slowly with it. With time, it becomes lighter.
And for problems in general, here's a simple practice. When something is confusing, write "the problem is" in one clear sentence.
Not 20 lines, just one.
For example, "the problem is I feel alone in this city." Then write 3 small things you can try. Not big magic, just 3 ideas.
Like what?
For feeling alone, 1. Join an online English group. 2. Message an old friend and ask, "Can we talk this weekend?" 3. Go to a cafe with a book so I'm not alone at home all day.
That's really good.
Then tell yourself, I don't need to solve everything today. I just need to try one of these this week.
So you move from "I have a problem" to "I'm working through this problem"?
Yes, work through means slowly process something difficult step by step. That's also positivity. Not fake smiles, but quiet courage.
I love that. Quiet courage.
Last idea. Problems and pain don't mean your life is over. They mean you're human. You can feel them and still move forward slowly.
And many times, the next move is yours. The ball is in your court.
That idiom means it's your turn to act. Not a perfect step, just a small, kind step.
So today we talked about inner happiness, worry, goals, and pain. Now let's do a quick word tour.
First, dwell on. Keep thinking about something negative again and again. Example, I try not to dwell on my mistakes.
Spiral, when one small worry becomes bigger and bigger. Example, my mind started spiraling after bad news.
Stuck in a rut. Life feels the same every day, bored and trapped. Example, he felt stuck in a rut at his job.
Keep your head above water, just managing to survive. Example, she's trying to keep her head above water with work and family.
Bounce back. Recover after something difficult. Example, he bounced back after losing his job.
The grass isn't always greener. Other people's lives look better, but you don't see their problems. Example, she realized the grass wasn't always greener.
Brood. Sit and think about something sad for a long time. Example, he stayed in his room and brooded.
Work through. Slowly deal with a difficult feeling step by step. Example, she needed time to work through her fear.
And the ball is in your court. It's your turn to act. Example, I sent the offer. Now the ball is in his court.
Choose 1 or 2 you like and try to use them this week.
So, our reminder for today, your thoughts are powerful and small positive habits really matter.
Even one tiny thing counts. 1 short walk, 1 calm breath, 1 kind thought about yourself. That's already a positive step.
Tell us in the comments, my small positive habit will be, and write 1 thing you want to try.
If this episode helped you feel lighter or less alone, please like, subscribe, and come back next time.
Take care of yourself. Be gentle with your mind.
Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep moving slowly in a kinder direction.
This is Dylan.
And this is Sophia.
You've been listening to the Education Exploration Hub podcast. Bye.
Your progress doesn't end here. Click the next video or explore the videos we've selected for you.